So what else are you most proud of in your life, personally or professionally? And it was noted that we certainly hear your pride and accomplishment in being a librarian.
I'm very thrilled that my family is my pride and joy. And you heard about my husband. I have three wonderful daughters. I do girls. I specialize in girls, and they are wonderful children. And every day we talk, even though they're away in school and everything. So it's I enjoy having them. They're my some of them are challenging, but it's been fun. I really enjoy it. I have two dogs. One is overweight, but I really love them too. But I think my family is a main thing. And the company is doing well, and the great people working in the company. I am grateful. I'm very grateful to them. Without everybody working together, I certainly, my one person is not enough. And I can't do everything.
One thing I think is really interesting, if you've ever, you need to see her offices. They are beautiful. Her offices are gorgeous. But you also used feng shui. And you made where you chose to have your offices, where your office sits, what you have in your office. Here's some of the neat feng shui tips you need to deploy in your business, in your home, at your office to help you prosper and have the home you want. Because I love it, and I did some of the stuff that you do.
First of all, you really need, for the feng shui, we believe in living water. The water has to sort of flow. You can't have a puddle of water. You need to have the water continue to flow. And so in our old office and new office, we always have a waterfall to make sure that bring in the good luck and all that. And there's some making sure that your office, in terms of where it sits and how it's sitting, Chinese said 坐北朝南, so you sit on the south and but facing north to make sure that sun's always shines on you. And every office there's a money spot, money pot. So you need to find out where the heck is your office's money pot. Make sure you guard that place. Make sure that place is all well taken care of. And also a very important thing at your own house, making sure when you walk in, you're not like immediately seeing the back door. If you do something, like put a entryway with the flower and big flower, so it doesn't really see the back door right away. You don't need the money to come in and go right out from the back door. That would not be a good thing. So making sure that there's little things, how do you put a mural to really deflect the not so good spirit? Because you want the good spirit to stay with you. So when you go in, you just need to feel, is this, is the flow nice? Is the chi going pretty smoothly from one area to the other? Really need to flow. And make sure the money that flow in don't just flow out. No. Cut that off. Make sure the money flows in and stays, because you need to make sure the money continue to pay for the business, pay for the employee, pay for blah, blah, blah. So you don't want, so it's mighty important. Little things will make a big difference.
It's really interesting, too, that, your money spot in your office, she has this beautiful, beautiful framed Japanese money, which I thought was really, really cool. So go get some Japanese money and hang it on your wall. So, or dollar bills or something. But I think that's a really good idea. Do we have other questions? So how did you manage your children as you're growing your business and working in business? How did you manage to take care of your children?
My maternity.
How long your maternity? If you took
Yeah.
maternity.
And how long was your maternity leave?
1 month is my maternity leave, because this Chinese is a little crazy. Chinese had this tradition that after you give birth to a baby, you need to stay home for 30 days. So my mother had imposed that on me, that you can't go out, you can't have the wind blow over your head, because Chinese believes that all bones in your body are loosened when you were given birth. So if you go out, and you're going to have arthritis, you're going to have all kinds of issues. I don't really know is that really true or not, but I was told I have to follow that. For all my children, my 3 kids, I stay home for 1 month. I couldn't handle any more longer than that, so I stayed home for 1 month. And I was very lucky. I have my mother with me. My mother stayed with me for 10 years. from Taiwan to come over after my father passed, I asked her to join me. And it really helped her out to grieve for my father and enjoy my family. Mainly it's just to help me out because my husband was a medical student and then was an intern, then was in school forever. So we never had enough money to pay for childcare. So my mother was instrumental. That's why my children speak good Chinese, because of my mother. She doesn't speak English. So it worked out really well. So I'm ever grateful for my mother.
That is wonderful. I remember that. I think that my mother's mother told her that you could never let wind blow on the baby. And my mother tells the story that she was driving from Florida in the heat of summer up to Washington, D.C., and I was swaddled. I mean, it's like 110 degrees, and I'm covered. And they said I was just like this red-faced, fat baby, miserable. And they were giving me prune juice. I think the whole trip was like not a good experience for them. That's the story she shared with me. So how do you find the balance? I mean, and it was brought up, you have this incredibly enriched life. You've got family, you've got this incredible business, and you also travel. How do you, and you volunteer. How do you keep a balance and that sanity in your life?
It is very difficult. I think so. And how do you keep your marriage going when you have all these? No, seriously, this is very difficult. And I figure, what is the most important thing to me? I need to always know what is the most important thing to me. I want to make sure that me and my husband are communicating. We continue to communicate. I didn't know what time he went. He came home last night because he was working late. So this is just our life. So I figured out I wouldn't want to think back 20 years from now or 10 years from now that all I did was sit there and watch my company grow. I do not want to look back. All I did was sit there and watch my company grow. Oh, that would not be a good life, Cynthia.
No, as much as you love your company, it would not be. Yeah.
They all know I love my company, but no, that would be very sad. So I decided early on that I love working hard, but I'm not married to my business. I am not married to my business. I need to make sure that I know who I'm married to and who's important to me. So I make time. I make time to go on trip with my husband. I make time to spend time with my children. And I make time to do things that I wanted to do. Too many competing priorities. So I always look at, what am I supposed to do? Then I pick the one that really make the most impact to me. So my husband enjoys travel, so all he does is he plans. Anytime he's out of the operating room, then he plans. He doesn't plan in the operating room, I hope. So he would plan, and then I would go, because I realize that's how important it is. Because I don't want my husband to take anybody else with him. Yeah. Am I right? I think it's important. So I'm going.
So about how many trips a year do you guys do together?
We do. It doesn't matter, long trip, small trip. Mm-hmm. It's a trip. It's like you spend time together. So we try once a month that we spend time together on something. For instance, we'll go into Napa Valley with Cindy because that's a trip. So you don't have to go to someplace really exotic. No, someplace that you both enjoy, that you can spend time, that is you and me. Is all about is my husband today that I'm going to spend time. Actually, I think he loves that. I think he really enjoyed that. He figured that's the only time is he has Michelle.
Right, 100%. And I think that's really important because it's just as important. That is your stability. I think your family and your relationships are your stability. And I think we always feel guilty that we take time to nurture those, but we should feel more guilty that we take time to nurture our business and not our relationships. I think that's a great place to close today. Michelle, I want to thank you for joining us. You survived.
Thank you.
CEO Chick Chat. I really appreciate it.